Crody, are you cheesing, fam? What's going on here, man? I thought you Canadians were loyal, bruv. Wowzers, wowzers, wowzers. So, first of all, let me just say one thing. Before we get this started. I just want to let you guys know, Kendrick Lamar and Drake are both two multi-millionaires, okay, with security that can rival prime ministers of certain nations and states, okay? So they will both be all right moving in the other person's neighborhood and city/state. Let's all just relax. But however, jokes over facts. So let's get into it. Kendrick Lamar, the Sizzler. Shout out to my girl, the Sizzler, big jersey. We're in Toronto last night. Toronto fam. And you know, it was finna go down. They were talking about Drake fans protesting outside of the Rogers. You know what I'm saying? That got canceled. But then they said, oh, is the Alchemist going to be in the building? From what I saw, it was a pretty nice festive night. It was pretty much that doing this GNX tour. However, it's going to have a little sauce on it because the Canadians were out there in full force. Now, I know the truth. The truth is Kendrick Lamar, one of the biggest rappers on the planet. Anywhere you go, he's going to draw a crowd. But you got to admit, it just looks a bit much when the cronies are out there. They're not real sixes, fam. Streets are saying, hey, cut it out, HQ. Half of Canada doesn't like this guy anyway. I said, whatever. I think the guy has fans anyway. People are feeding into it. Vince McMahon couldn't write it any better than that. But what really grinded my gears? I mean, merch. Real Canadians hate Drake after all he's done for the Six? And you're screaming one more time after Not Like Us? I mean, look at this chant on the A minor. You know, I used to have a lot of faith in you Canadians. I used to think you youths were better than us Americans, more loyal, more friendly. But after this with you lots, I'm starting to rethink next time I pull up to Carabana. If not for Drake, you youths would be stuck with Cardinal Official as your goats. You would be stuck with the lots of Arista, Page. I know some of these guys. But here we are. Now, another thing. You lots were at the Chinese, is it a Chinese restaurant or Asian restaurant? I don't know specifically. I don't want to get it wrong. You know, Toronto, multicultural city. That's why y'all lean into this Not Like Us. When y'all the city that leans into accepting all the different cultures. You guys, it's a whole bunch of days in your city. Okay, but that's not what it's about. A lot of my Kendrick fans, the same ones, they've said, HQ, you don't understand. Not Like Us was about the people that are not hip hop, that are not with the culture. Okay, but you guys were in the restaurant at the New Hawk King. Is that what it's called? With the fried rice and the dip sauce with the blammy, Brody. Crody, you guys were doing this. No real sixes left, fam. No real sixes. But anyway, it's all in the fun of hip hop. Y'all see how I'm smiling, cheering, loving the battles, loving your town. When Drake does his big shebang, whatever that would be, right, with the music and the touring, let's all cheer too. It's fun. Vince McMahon couldn't write it better than this. Now, for my last piece, I do want to say, I've told y'all before about these tours. You go night one. Night two for me is always the place to be. So we had 2 shows in Canada. In Toronto, I should say. I don't know. Y'all might have been gassed up for night one. Something's telling me night 2 is going to be some action. Let's keep it safe. Jay, hit a man. Jay, top 5. Both of you lots, relax. The days of people running around with goons, it's over. Guys are running around with 12 cop cars, 75 bodyguards. That was so early 2000s. Ain't nobody getting hurt. That's fine. This shit is going to stay rap. It is rap. It is what it is. All right. Night 2. My gut is telling me to go buy your tickets.